Hello, my name is Darrell,
And my name is Greg.
and this is Inside the Mastermind. You may be asking yourself, what is a mastermind? Well, Napoleon Hill defines a mastermind as the coordination of knowledge and effort of two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony.
And here at Inside the Mastermind, we focus on five main areas of life, which include mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and socially. And we are wanting to improve these areas in our own lives, as well as help you, the viewers, do the same by creating a life of meaning, abundance, and greatness.
That's right. And today we're going to talk a little bit about overcoming challenges, overcoming obstacles, that type of thing. But before we get into that, usually throw in a little bit of a corny joke here. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you here in just a second. So, Greg, real quick, what did the traffic light say to the car?
Did he say, hey, slow down?
No, I said, don't look, I'm about to change. And with that, I mean that's kind of life in general, right? It's just there's constant change, constant challenges that come. That's kind of a part of life. But a book I read a while back was kind of trying to explain, life existence in general, and it kind of threw out the whole idea and the concept that if there were no challenges there in life, we'd all kind of be automatons. We'd kind of be like robots there. We like already know the answer beforehand, and by knowing the answer beforehand, it kind of kills kind of the joy of learning the answer or like going through the difficulty and whatnot. So I think, in my opinion, despite the difficulties that I'm personally going through, you might be going through, Greg, or whoever's watching right now might be experiencing. Difficulty is a necessary part of life in order for us to grow. I mean, what do you think, Greg, as far as that goes?
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually having a conversation about this yesterday. I was actually at a book club that my one friend colleague started, and we kind of talked about this a bit to where you have to go through challenges life in hard times in order to appreciate the good. So if you don't go through that, you're not going to appreciate what you have. And we kind of compared it to, as far as, let's say, someone who grows up in a rich family, and that's all that they know their whole life. They get everything handed to them. They don't have to work for anything. Again, not everyone is like this, but typically that person will grow up stubborn and unappreciative and just like they own the world and they don't have any feelings for other humans. Or maybe if they see, like, I don't know, a homeless person, they're like, oh, get away from me, bum, something like that, versus someone who maybe is acquires wealth through hard work and starting out poor, and then they appreciate more things and they're wanting to serve other people. So yeah, I do believe it helps you develop yourself holistically as far as being a very well-rounded person if you go through hard times, challenges, because without that you cannot appreciate the good that you have. You won't realize how much of a blessing it is to be able to experience what you're experiencing right now, because you know how much harder it was or it can be. So yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, and as far as right now, today is a Memorial Day as we record this, and just want to say thank you to all those veterans that kind of took up the challenge. It is my understanding. I've never been in the armed forces, but my understanding it's a tough job. I mean, it's tough job, long hours, a lot of work. You're risking your life essentially to protect this country, which is probably some of the highest level work that you can do. And initially, anyway, you usually are not getting paid that much to risk your life. So it's kind of amazing, the challenges that those who have gone to war, that have kind of fought for us. Hopefully, someday in the near future, all us humans will get along enough where there aren't really wars. Maybe there will be like skirmishes here and there, like fights here and there. But maybe we could like get to a point where you kind of throw away the swords and the dagger and the knives and the guns and all those forms of battle, and like work to help each other in the future. But for those who are out there and celebrating Memorial Day, thank you so much for your service. Is kind of what I wanted to throw out there. I don't know if you have to add to that part, Greg? What do you think?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the veterans, people who have served to help us live free lives and have this free enterprise that we do enjoy. Because, like I say, I wish didn't have to be wars, which, that's another topic we could probably discuss before. Whereas I think some wars are only for financial gain and they're created, and it's like people have to lose their lives and kill each other just because of that, which is not good. So, I want us to get to a point to where we are one human race and we can go to any place of the world without having to fear for our lives or feel, hey, I'm just because I'm this certain race or whatever religion that people are going to hate me or try to attack me, so we could just get along holistically. I do truly believe that once we get to that stage, if it ever happens, is when, again, this is another topic when it comes to like extraterrestrial life or even some other universal energies out there will be like, hey, these guys are actually able to do this. Now let's reveal ourselves to them, and now we can all grow together as a universe. But yeah, I just wish we didn't have to have that. But yeah, I want to thank our veterans and people that did fight for our country, just so we can live free lives and actually help serve other people to live in more freer lives. If that's the word, freer, more free, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying there. As far as I guess an example here of just like somebody in kind of a different aspect of a business had a business challenge and kind of got through was we were talking earlier about Steve Jobs. I mean, Steve Jobs, we kind of like memorialize him in a certain way today, especially within the business community. But for a while there, he was kind of down in the dumps there. He had built this company, Apple, there, helped build this company, Apple, with his partner there. And then he just kind of was kind of Steve Jobs. He was not exactly the nicest person the whole way. He was kind of like, running people a little bit beyond what they could do. And the person he brought in to kind of manage the company for him and try to do it at a little bit more PC level there, decided, hey, like, I don't really want you to be a part of the company anymore. For about a decade, he was not a part of the company. And I'm sure that was kind of a big challenge. I read a little bit of his biography. I actually watched his bio movie with Ashton Kutcher, which I think is a great movie. People usually don't give that much credit to Ashton Kutcher, but I think he did a pretty good job in that movie. And basically, he was voted out of the company for 10 years. He tried to start a company called Next, didn't do too well. But then his next venture out there, his next big venture anyway, was Pixar. And we all have heard of Pixar at this point, stuff. And once they, like, people over at Apple at that point were kind of like spinning their wheels. Apple was about to go bankrupt there, and they just decided to bring him on as a consultant. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be just a consultant. I'm going to go ahead and take this over. I mean, there's, sports challenges on that might come up as well. But any other thoughts of like business challenges, sport challenges that you've seen kind of in the past, Greg? And then maybe we'll wrap up a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually just, when you brought up Pixar, that was the one that was on my mind. I was like, yeah, he started Pixar. And I know even with Steve Jobs, I mean, I haven't done a lot of like reading or research on him, but there was something interesting to where he went. I forget exactly where, but it was some exotic place for like meditation and like spiritual healing. And then when he came back, I think it's when he had the inspiration for Apple or Pixar. It's when he came back on that journey, when he had all these ideas, and then look at the ideas that he presented, they became billion-dollar industries. So he went on this, which we probably can touch more on that maybe in another episode, like more spiritual one, where focused on his spiritual journey that he took. And then when he came back, how it kind of just awakened him and he was able to just see more things than other people can see, or is that imagination just went full force. But yeah, that's actually pretty much about it. I did have some audience homework. Let me kind of just take a quick view. And this was regarding to business because, we're talking about challenges and being mentally prepared for obstacles and even business, because when you do decide to become an entrepreneur, it is hard. We don't want to discourage anyone out there. Actually want to encourage you guys, but just got to be mentally ready to actually go through the transformation that you need in order to flourish. And actually, there's a lot of habits you have to add and take away lesser habits for greater habits, like reading and studying and educating yourself if you're not used to doing it. Because typically, once we get out of school, we kind of just stop growing and stop learning. We just take a job and then that's it, and then we just ride that until we die. But So yeah, if you go on the entrepreneurial journey, so the homework for today is just think of a business that you can form. Again, just to like maybe write it down and think of maybe problems consumers may have that you can solve, because that's typically when you serve people is when you it's all about, it's what entrepreneurship is about. You develop a product or service that can actually solve the problem of other people and help them, and then in return obviously you get money for that, and the more people you serve, the better you are and the more you flourish. So that's pretty much what I wanted to add about that.
No, I think that's some great homework there, Greg. Thank you for sharing that. Um, yeah, yeah, and I guess that you kind of did a great segue there. Like if you find a problem that is not solved in the market, then basically you have an instant business there if you can solve that problem easily or in a way that's financially viable for other people. So that's an excellent audience homework there. And with that, just go ahead and say, if you're looking for inspiration like this, if you're looking for motivation and that type of thing, definitely go ahead and check out Greg's blog, which is called planetgreenzen.com. We'll have it in the description of this video here. And yeah, go ahead and check that out, learn a little bit more. He's also got some products on there that might be helpful to you if you're trying to live a more healthy lifestyle. So definitely check out Greg's blog.
Appreciate that, Darrell. And if you guys are looking to actually join this mastermind group, definitely connect with Darrell. He'll have his information in the description below. Click on that link, fill out your application, and Darrell will connect with you to let you know what the next step is, because we are accepting applications. So if you are like-minded and want to actually help other people, go ahead and submit your application below. I also do have a quote. This one is by, I believe his name is Robert Cheek or Robert Cheeke. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him, Robert Cheek. But what he says is, mentally prepare ourselves for excellence. Block out the noise of everyday distractions and tap into the quietness of meaningful focus, intent, in a winning mindset.
Excellent quote. And with that, thank you for sharing there, Greg. Yeah, we really enjoyed kind of talking about this today. If you enjoyed this as well, definitely go ahead and subscribe, share this out to friends and whatnot, so we can go ahead and spread the word. If you felt this had a lot of ways to go there and needs improvement, go ahead and reach out to us directly as well. Go ahead and shoot us an email. Our email should be in the description on YouTube here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at, take your feedback, go from there. With that, that ends this episode of Inside the Mastermind. Thank you so much for joining us, and go ahead and go take on those challenges today. So,
alrighty, bye guys.
Bye.